Good morning everybody and welcome back to a brand new video. Now it's been quite a while since I have covered Runelite, and over the last year there's been a lot of really awesome and interesting plugins added, both to the general release of Runelite as well as the plugin hub. So today I thought I would cover some of my favorite plugins I've been using recently, because I truly do think some of these are kind of game changers. Now for those who don't know, the Runelite plugin hub is an area for less official plugins, maybe ones that are more niche or haven't been polished as much. However, they are checked by the main devs to make sure they're not malicious and that they don't break any rules. Anyway guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. As always, if you do, appreciate a like in the video, helps a lot. Thanks for watching guys, and let's get started. Now installing plugins in Runelite is very simple. However, you may not have noticed the plugin hub. So if you come over here to your Runelite configuration, you can see all of the plugins that you have installed. However, at the bottom here, there's a button called Plugin Hub. And by clicking on it, you can have a look at a ton of other plugins that are kind of under the hood. There are tons of plugins here, and most of them are useful. However, today I'm just going to be highlighting some of them. Now, the first plugin I want to cover here is probably one of my favorites of all time. It fixes one of the biggest problems that old school RuneScape has. Yes, bigger than the duel arena, bigger than bots, bigger than real world trading, gold farming. Probably the biggest issue I've had with the game is the fact that you can't kick down doors. Going through doors normally is just so boring. You just walk up and the door opens. That makes no sense. Luckily, Runelite has you covered with a door kicker plugin. All you have to do is simply enable it, and we are good to go. Okay, of course this one doesn't have really a practical use, but it's not very intrusive and it's kind of fun just to leave on anyway. Side note, have you ever noticed this bird and all of these clothes up here in Varrock? I feel like I've never noticed that before. Now another really awesome plugin I found recently is called Optimal Quest Helper. Now essentially what this plugin does is it will detect which quests you have done on your account, and it will suggest the most efficient order to complete them in. So if we come over here and turn it on and go over to the sidebar, we can look at which quests it recommends doing and in which order. Now it has detected I've done a few quests already. Now not only will it show you the optimal quest order, it will also show you quest requirements. I wonder what the last recommended quest is. Looks like a Song of the Elves. Oh wait, Clock Tower? Now when I say it has been put in an efficient order, that pretty much means that the quest experience rewards you're getting are actually going to be useful when you do the quest. So most likely, if you do the quest in this order, you are going to be getting the best bang for your buck while being very efficient. Now, next up here, we have a really interesting plugin. It actually turns everything into gems. Gem Sky, Gem People, Gem Pizza. Wait, no, I've just been playing Gemstone Legends. So thank you so much to Gemstone Legends for sponsoring today's video. Gemstone Legends is a hybrid between a puzzle game and an adventure RPG. It's a very interesting combo, but it's actually pretty fun. It actually has a very unique battle system that requires you to complete puzzles to do damage and attack. So you'll drag gems around your board, complete rows, get big combos. You can even drag the gems diagonally. So as you complete battles, you're going to level up your heroes and unlock new areas. So as you progress in the game, you're going to move around the map with hex tiles, which is pretty reminiscent of old school RPGs, but it also allows a lot of freedom in progression. There are a ton of different heroes to choose from, and they're all hand-drawn as well, so there's quite a lot of detail here, and they look very good. So if you want to find me in game, I'll be under the nickname Flipping OSRS, and if you want to give Gemstone Legends a try today, you can use the link in my description, the pinned comment, or even this convenient QR code to install the game. And if you install it with my link, you're going to get a huge new player bonus worth $50. To claim it, you just have to put in the code #flipping in the global chat. And thanks once again to Gemstone Legends for supporting the channel and sponsoring today's video. Now, probably one of my personal favorite plugins that came out in the last year is the Nexus Map plugin. Now, for those who don't have a Nexus, this is generally what it looks like when you come over here to the teleport menu. A fairly basic UI that just has a list of all the teleports that you have in your Nexus. Now I only have 10 teleports, so that's manageable. However, once you have the crystalline portal Nexus and added in all of the teleports, you can have up to 30, which can be overwhelming very quickly. However, no fear, if you come over here to the plugin hub and type in the Nexus menu map, It will instead turn a basic UI menu into the Trailblazer League map, where you can navigate the teleports by clicking on the different regions. So for example, if you want to go to Camelot, we'll come over here to Kandarin and click on Camelot. I don't have a teleport with me. Now, one thing to keep in mind is the hotkeys do still work. However, the only drawback is it isn't displayed immediately. For example, Camelot is the number 4. So if we come over here to the teleport menu and hit 4, we'll just teleport to Camelot instantly. One of my favorite additions, and I hope one day they add something similar for fairy rings. I think that would be incredibly useful. Now, another one of my favorite plugins recently has to be loot beams. Now, Jagex is actually looking to officially add that to the Steam client, I think. However, just a few days after a few really big popular threads on Reddit, loot beams were added into Runelite. Now, loot beam is similar to the Chambers of Xeric chest, however, we'll simulate a drop right here. Dragon Scimitar, for example, and we get a nice big blue loot beam. If you drop an occult necklace, we're going to get a green loot beam. The Dragon Pickaxe, we're going to get an orange loot beam. And finally, the Bandos chestplate, if we drop it, we're going to get a red loot beam. Looks pretty stylish, looks like a party's going on, but it's really hype when you actually get a drop with the loot beams turned on. Let me pick these up before I lose my Bandos chestplate. Now, the way you turn it on is actually within the Ground Items plugin. It is officially supported. So if we come over here to Ground Items and go down to the bottom, you'll see highlighted item loot beams. You want to turn that on. Now, loot beam tier is going to determine how valuable an item is required to trigger the loot beam. For example, if we have it on medium and we got a Dragon Scimitar drop, it wouldn't have a loot beam, which I think would probably be fair, which is the way I have it set up personally. So anything green or above will show a loot beam, which I think is above 100k or 150k. That just looks so cool. Oh yeah, there's also a separate loot beam for any highlighted items. So for example, a clue scroll, if it drops on the ground, we're gonna get a nice stylish loot beam, making it just a little bit easier to see it, but that of course is just determined by my highlighted items. Now, another really helpful plugin that I find myself using quite a bit is the profit tracking plugin. Now, the way this works is essentially it will just track any items entering your inventory and any items leaving your inventory. It will show you with a little notification at the top how much gold you've gained or lost. So ideally, you want to turn this on after you've geared, after you're all ready to go do your PVM moneymaker, scaling moneymaker, or whatever, and it will track how much gold you're gaining, how much gold you're losing, and fundamentally how much money you are making per hour. So for example, I came over here to the Skeletal Wyverns just to show you guys, and every time we sip a prayer dose, we lose a couple thousand GP. Every time we drop something, we'll lose a bit of GP. However, every time we pick up a drop, like this Rune Kite Shield, for example, we're going to gain GP per hour, and I mean, currently we're getting 1.5 mil an hour or whatever, but that will even out over time. Now, you don't want to have this on all the time because if you access your bank at all and deposit items, it's going to kind of mess up the entire counter. But it is really helpful to get an accurate picture of really how much money you're making, because often players will disregard the supply cost of moneymakers, and sometimes they're making a lot less money than you would actually think. So this is a great way to track it. The plugin is called just Profit Tracker. There are a couple, but my favorite one is this one. So definitely a very helpful plugin. Now, because we're already over here by a bunch of monsters, another one of my favorite plugins I've just started using recently is called Loot Tables. It is available in the plugin hub, and we'll just go ahead and install it here. Now, once you have it installed, you'll notice that there is a separate tab once again for loot tables, and it essentially just allows you quick access to loot information. For example, here we have the Skeletal Wyvern. We can see what they drop, the drop rates, and the quantities. We can come down here to their mega rare stuff also. We can see the Draconic Visage and how much everything is worth. You can also just right click on monsters and go to loot table. Alternatively, you can just search them up. Ice Giant, for example. And we can easily look at loot tables without ever having to really leave the client, which I think is super helpful. Now, probably one of the most talked about plugins this year is gotta be the Bot Detector plugin. Now, I am planning on making a more in-depth video on this in the future, but I'd be hard pressed to make a video about Runelite plugins in 2021 and not talk about the Bot Detector plugin. Now, essentially what this does is it turns anyone who has it installed into, well, a bot detector. In the background, your client will be looking at players around you and sending their names, stats, and information off to the bot detector. Now, the bot detector uses machine learning to attempt to determine whether it's a bot. After review, any suspected bots will be sent directly to Jagex to determine if there are bots or not. Now, with the positive feedback they get back from Jagex, they can feed their neural network, or whatever you want to call it, more information to get more accurate. Now, if this becomes successful, this could be a really powerful tool for both the players and Jagex to help combat bots. Now, another fun feature is you can actually predict whether players are bots. For example, this one has a 98% chance that they're a real player. Good job. Now, keep in mind the percentage that they're given here is not really a percentage in the general way people view it. It just has something to do with how the machine learning works. But anyway, without getting too far in depth, a really cool plugin that really could help combat bots. But like I said, I do have a plan to make a more in-depth video, including some statistics on bots that they banned, how much GP has been removed from the game, other stuff like that. That should hopefully be coming soon. Now finally here, I wanted to finish off with two very helpful quality of life plugins. Now first up here we have the Annoyance Muter. Now essentially what this does is it will specifically mute certain noises because some of them are really annoying. For example, the arm of the crossbow, or different NPC noises, or pet noises. I'm looking at you, General Rador. Those can be extremely annoying, and with the Annoyance Mute, you can turn them off specifically without having to turn all of your game sounds off, which I do personally find really nice. I like having the game sounds on to some extent, but there are a lot of annoying noises out there, which this plugin will deal with. And probably the smallest of changes of all of these, but something that really started annoying me as soon as they added in the new clan system, is the fact that there are now two different clan chats. One is your friend chat, and one is your actual clan chat. Now if you install the /swapper plugin, you can swap whether you need 1 slash or 2 slashes to talk in either your clan chat or your friend's chat. Super helpful because I'm so used to just doing one. And depending on your clan setup, there might be more players in your regular clan chat over your friend's chat, but that's obviously going to depend on your clan. And with that guys, that's going to bring us to the end of the video. Those are some of my favorite plugins that aren't really included in the default Runelite install that I've been using a lot over the last year. There are so many out there and so many useful ones I didn't cover, but those are my favorites. Thanks for watching guys, as always, and I will see you in the next video. Now before I go here, as always, I would love to thank all of my members over on YouTube. A giant thank you to Guy Fox, Ocelot, Timothy Chen, Wolf of the Hunt, and Kush Patel for all being subscribed at the Dragon tier membership. You guys are awesome as always, really appreciate it. Also a giant thank you to Mexos, Branton Graffin, Hunter Durant, Yo-Yo Sub 89, Lord Dojin, Connor B, Birdbot, and Base Titch. And of course, thank you to all of my other YouTube members as well. If you guys are looking for another way to support the channel, becoming a YouTube member is an awesome way to do so. Get immortalized in all of my future videos, get access to my video release schedule, and of course, get a custom role in my Discord server. Thanks again guys as always, and I'll see you next time.